Hey!
Hi.
Ruth and I haven't been having any technical problems whatsoever, have we?
No sweating here. It's totally fine. I'm like,
It's all been complete plain sailing. Ruth, how the devil are you?
I am really good. Yeah,
She's multitasking.
I'm
I
done.
can tell.
I'm done. I'll just keep looking slowly to the right at my screen. But yes, we had a bit of snow this morning, so I'm feeling very good.
Hey, there you go. Christmassy without
Yeah.
even being Christmas. Look at that. Right. Ruth, what are we doing today?
We are, because it's International Women's Day, we're going to be doing some cool graphics and like a web page on some very cool women.
That's absolutely true. And you are one of those cool women, are you not?
Maybe not. I might just put my own face in this image.
I think you should.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, listen. Have you been international? Have you traveled internationally?
I have. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Sri Lanka, Jordan. Yeah, apparently that's it.
There you go. You're an international woman.
Yes.
So it's very, very apt that you should be here today with us. So great stuff. If you are joining us, you can put a comment in. No problem at all. You can put a comment in. Tell us where you're tuning in from, blah, blah, blah. That would be lovely to hear from you. And your teachers should have a page. Let me just present my screen. And you should have a page which looks a little bit like... Oh, hang on. Don't share that one. Not just yet. You should have a page which looks a little bit like this. Ta-da! That's pretty cool. So this is our international... That's a picture of Ruth as a young girl. And and if you don't have this link, then you can access it by either going to the short link here. The long link is not necessarily one that you can type in very easily, but this one, bit.ly/express IWD. I got it right this week. IWD, International Women's Day. And there is this scanny thing. What do you do with that, Ruth, of iPad fame?
You open your camera, you hold it up to it, and it'll a little like box will appear with the link, and then you can just tap on it, and it'll open it.
Ruth used her iPad there. Like I'm using my iPad here.
Well, my iPad is hooked in, and I'm too afraid to touch it because it's also being technically issued. So I'm just going to pretend this is my iPad.
Cool. Okay, so what do we need to talk about before we get started? Well, the first thing is we're going to do 2 challenges. First one is going to be create an inspiring graphic of an amazing woman. My example is going to be Serena Williams because she is a bit of a legend. And then the second one is going to be create a web page full of info, images, links, buttons, embedded videos, blah, blah, blah. So those kind of things. Now, before we crack on with our first one, what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that you know that if you find this is going too fast at any time, that's absolutely fine. You can just pause us. Ruth is always trying to pause me.
Yep.
Thanks, Ruth. And you can just pause us and just, find time and all the rest of it. But what you should do is you should follow along as best as you can. Don't feel like you have to keep up, but follow along. Be doing stuff while we're doing stuff. That's what you want to do. And then you will be seeing me using the desktop version of Adobe Express, and you will also be seeing Ruth using the iPad version. So depending on what you're using, you can follow along with either of us. But generally, they're pretty similar. So you can take inspiration from both. And Ruth will be doing some amazing things, which are much better than mine. So therefore, do concentrate on Ruth's, even if you're not using an iPad.
That is true.
You're going to be under scrutiny today, Ruth. Scrutiny. And then the next thing is, if you complete 2 of the challenges, then you can access swag. What does that mean, Ruth?
Stuff we all get.
that is the dictionary definition of swag. Stuff we all... Hey, that was really good.
Yeah, thanks.
Work stuff we all get.
That's
Yeah.
what it means. Yeah.
Yeah, and you should pester your teacher mercilessly, relentlessly until they submit your swag request, and I will send that out to you for free. In fact, I'll probably send it to Ruth, and she'll drive it around to your school for you.
That's true. Definitely across the water for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to get on with our very first challenge, which is this graphic design one. Now, I really like this one. I think it's really cool. Now, you can see here, if you can click on this button, it will open up a folder full of goodness. Look at it. There's goodness everywhere. You can see it. And you can access bits of text that we're going to use. Ruth's got some text that she's going to use. And this one, powerful adjectives, is the one that you're probably going to need to start off with. Okay, so you can click that and it'll open up with some powerful adjectives. Wow, look at you. You've been busy, Ruth.
I have. That's what I was copy and pasting while we said hello.
Wow. Yeah, cracking stuff. And also in here, you can select images. I'm going to use this Serena Williams one. There it is. And you can download it by pressing this little download button up here. But also we will show you how to, just go and find one as well. So that's absolutely fine. Right, Ruth, are you ready?
I am ready, yes.
I am ready, she says. And if you do have any comments, if you want to say hello, and if you want to ask us to show you some certain things that, maybe that we went too fast over, then you absolutely can. But don't forget, you can pause us at any time. We'll be going through the graphics and how to make them, and then we'll be pausing, and you'll be able to. So I'll be going through it, and Ruth will be going through it, and then we'll leave you some time, and you'll be able to, have some time to tidy up your image and put extra things on and things like that. So you will be getting time. You don't need to keep pace with us. You will be getting time. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Right, what are we going to do first? Well, I tell you what, Ruth, why don't you start off and show iPad people how they can get started using Express. Shall I switch over?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Right,
how do you do it? Do you want me to show the final product first, or?
We'll just show them how to, what the app looks like and how to open it and things like that.
Okay. So I have discovered that my mouse can control my iPad, so I now have a cursor, which is amazing.
Nice, very nice.
So you're going to open Adobe Express, which looks like this, and you'll log in with your details. I'm already logged in, so that you guys don't have to see me.
C2Ken, is that right?
C2Ken, so c2ken.net. If you use that, you'll get access to. I know I always call it C2Ken every time. Whoever Ken is.
Yeah, Ken's great.
Yeah, I know, right? Ken, he's my favorite. And along here, you've got quick starts up along the top, so you can create something really quick. We're going to be looking at collages. However, I noticed on the iPad it's totally different. It's the only thing that's different than what you're going to be doing. So we might have to show both sides of that. You can search templates.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Collage is a really good way of doing it. Yeah.
And then you've got your projects, and then this is kind of what we're going to be creating today, roughly. So if you've created something that's there, or you can just hit the plus, because on the iPads it's a wee bit different.
Okay, very nice. Well, I'm glad you said that about collages, because I'd completely forgotten, and that was how we started. So it was really good that you went first. Right. Let me show you how to do it on the desktop. This whole thing would come crashing down if it wasn't for Ruth. So I'm going to press the plus in the top left there, and I'm going to go to collage, which of course was what I was going to do anyway. And then it will say, well, upload your photos. Oh, that's doing all sorts of mad stuff there. Yeah, that is being crazy. Let's go here. Let's go to collage. Right, that looks a bit better now. Right, so if I've got my International Women's Day folder open here, I can go to Serena, for example, open her up, and then I can click the little download button, and then she comes down on my machine here. Now, if you just go to sort of Google Images, you could do something like Serena Williams, put her in there, and then you could go to Images. Now you can. This one's quite a good one, actually. You could go to any of these because you're using it for educational use. You could go in. That was a good one. Look at that. She's all fired up.
Look at the arm.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, and then you can open the image in a new tab, and then it will open up here, and then you can right click it, save image as, or if you do an iPad, you would tap and hold, and then it will come up and say save image. So you can do it like that. But I've downloaded it to my machine. There it is. Man, she's looking scary there.
Yeah, I know.
And
angry
then
at her
I'll go
face.
to, yeah, she's great. And then upload, and then I've got the Serena image there. Now I'm going to open it. Right, sometimes my dialog box doesn't come up on the screen. Don't
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
do that. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload again. So my file, what would you call it? File browser, maybe? I don't know. File search box is there, and then I'm going to select Serena again. And you see I've got 2 images down here. Okay, 2 images. And there is a method to the madness. So now I'm going to click next. Now I think I'm going to choose a landscape here. Ruth, what would you choose?
I would choose landscape because that's what my image is sized to. So yep.
There you go. So let's choose landscape and then go next. Right, now, first things first, bit of file management. What would you do first? What would you do first, Ruth? Tell us.
I always rename my project. Always. But that's me.
Always rename your project. Yeah. So I'm going to call mine Serena. Now, if you haven't got access to Google Drive, that's absolutely fine. Just do a Google image search for the person that you want to do your graphic on. If you want to choose Serena Williams, that's absolutely fine. And then once we've got that done and you've got your collages in there, your challenge now, should you choose to accept it, is, well, first of all, I think I'm going to go to layout on the right-hand side. And you see where it's got this border and cell here. They're linked because they've got this padlock linking them both. I'm going to bring it right down to nothing. Now, you might be able to see on the screen that there is a sort of very faint white line right down the center there where you can see my mouse just creeping around the screen. Now, that's just to show you that's where the join is. You won't actually see that when you print it out or when you save it or anything like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this image until I think it is pretty perfectly in the center. And I think that is perfect. Got it first time.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Right. And what I'm going to do now is pass it over to Ruth so she can get you to that point as well if you're on an iPad.
Yeah, because the iPad is totally different. Totally different.
So and if you're not using an iPad, you've got time now to catch up with that as well.
Yep. So if you are using an iPad, you'll see on the first screen, we've got, oh, I forgot I've got my mouse. Hold on, what am I doing? Yay. So you've got collages along the top. If I click on that or tap on that, sorry, it doesn't come up with the screen that Dom had, which was to select your image. It just goes straight into this, which is bizarre because it's not really creating it. So I found a little workaround to make it a bit easier for us. So what I'm going to do is at the bottom, I'm going to hit resize. And then I'm going to choose landscape, which is just beside it, just to make sure that ours is looking the same as Dom's. Then I'm going to hit done. On the iPad, you always have to hit done or else you won't see any more of the menu. Then I'm going to go to layout, exactly the same as what Dom did. But this time I'm going to choose a grid. See this one with the 2 photos beside each other? This is where Dom's going to say I've done it wrong, but this is how I've been doing it. So I'm going to do this grid.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And so I have my 2 separate sections. Now, I don't want this text, so I'm going, not at the minute anyway, so I'm going to tap on it, and then I'm going to tap on delete. And I now have 2 separate areas. So even though I don't have my photographs in yet, I now have my split down the middle, which is what we need. So if I tap on the actual area, just somewhere, see the way this one's like a light gray? I'm going to tap on that. And you'll see that down at the bottom, it says replace. So I want to replace this section with a photograph. So I'm going to go to replace. I'm going to go to my photo library. See, it's totally different on the iPad. This is the one thing that is totally different. So I'm going to go to photo library, can't speak. And I'm going to find my picture. So the woman that I've chosen is a Northern Irish woman called Mary Peters, or Lady Mary Peters, who you probably don't really know who that is. But whenever I was younger, she was really big. So she's a gold medalist. She's actually a pentathlete. She did the one where it's the 5 events. I always forget.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Yep. And she won in Munich one year. And so there she is. And I'm going to tap on the cell beside it. These are called cells. And I'm going to go to replace photo library and choose the exact same photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And then because my photo is the correct size, I can just swipe all the way to the left on this one.
Hey, nice.
All the way to the right on this one.
Cool.
And I tap it, and it's perfectly aligned. And actually, gosh. I know it's spot on. And the iPad doesn't actually put a, you know, where you had to change your border?
Yeah.
The iPad doesn't do that. So if you're on the iPad, you can get, if you are going to use this picture, it's perfect. So, but yeah, so I'm in exactly the same place now as Dom. That might have been a bit fast. So again, it's just you go into collage, resize, layout, and then you just replace the 2 sections.
Very cool.
We're exactly the same spot as Dom now. So
perfect. Right, let's switch it over. So what we're going to do here, well, we have to decide which side of the image we want our text to appear. And I think I'm going to have my text is going to go on the right hand side here. So first thing we're going to do with this image, hey, it started snowing here. Mental.
Oh, the snow is coming over.
Yeah. So I'm going to select that side of the image. And then there are different things that I can do here. I can go to filters. And one of the things that I mean, you could do that. That looks really cool.
Actually. That does look really cool, actually.
Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? Blimey, maybe I'll do that instead. So you can choose. Duotone might be a good one because she's, fierce and strong. That would be a good one. Like the red one would be good. But you could also do grayscale as well. I quite like that actually because it would make our text that we're going to put on the screen here very readable. And then I'm just going to press the arrow to get to take that drop down menu away. And then I'm going to go to enhancements, right? And this is where you can start playing around. So I'm going to do things like whack the highlights right up. That means all the whites are going to appear really, really bright. Maybe do the contrast as well. That's going to make the darks darker, the lights lighter. And you can maybe even play with shadow. I think that's pretty cool, actually. So I've kind of, a sort of a professional graphic designer would probably be having, a meltdown now because you don't really want to be playing around with sliders too much. But I think in this particular example, this is a good way to do it. Now that I've got that, I'm going to go to my powerful adjectives. Now, this is in this folder here. You can see it over there, powerful adjectives, but it doesn't really matter. There's only sort of 7 words I've chosen here. And these are all words which I've chosen to describe Serena Williams. So I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go back to my Express. Make sure that this side of the image is highlighted again. And then I'm going to press text. Now, I'm just going to put add your text. Okay. Now it says that you see double click to edit. That's absolutely fine. And then I'm going to stick it all in there. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to change the color of that text. So this box here is the text color box. Click it. And then I think I'm going to change it to white. Okay. And then I'm also going to align it to the left. Okay. Once I've done that, I'm going to start positioning it in a kind of place where I want it to be, all the way from the left and all the way to the right. Okay. Now I can use my arrows to kind of stick it into a decent position. That looks around about where I want it to be. Now, I'm going to start playing with fonts and stuff like that, but I think maybe I'll pass it over to you, Ruth, and you can get to that bit as well.
No probs. So we're back with Lady Mary Peters, and so I'm going to do the exact same thing as Dom. I'm going to change my right side to be that sort of grayscale. So all I have to do is tap on that right side image. It's kind of hard to tell because my image is so good, which is always joking. And then what I'm going to do is at the bottom we've got edit, adjust, looks, and enhance. So if I go to looks, that's where our filters are. And you can have a wee play around with those filters if you want. I don't like filters, so I'm not going to do that. I like the manual way.
All right.
It's because I'm a control freak, so I like to have more control over things. So I'm going to tap on Enhance. And in here, I've got all the different options. So to make anything grayscale, we're going to bring the saturation. So saturation is how much color there is. We're going to bring that all the way to the bottom, or all the way to -100. And I'm going to have to hit done. Remember, on the iPads, you always have to hit done to get your other options. Then I'm going to go to brightness, and in here are those other sliders that Dom had access to. So we don't see them all. They're kind of hidden on the iPad, but I think that's good. It makes me, I feel like I've achieved something, that I found it. So I'm going to put my shadows all the way down. Might not go fully down. I'm going to put some highlights up just to make that black and white really stand out. I'm not going to touch the brightness because it makes the blacks look a bit gray. And then I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to put my contrast, and I'm going to put it maybe all the way up. I'm not sure. I might put it a wee bit up. Yeah, I quite like that.
Very nice.
And so I'm going to hit done again. And I'm going to tap on the left image. I might actually make that a wee bit brighter. So I'm going to bring the saturation up. I'm going to bring the highlights up just to make it stand out. I'm going to bring the shadows down so that gets that really dark green outside. And it just makes that contrast a lot more. So contrast is just the difference between the two photos. And I hit done. And then to add my text in, I'm going to hit add and text. I totally forgot I've got my mouse to control the iPad. I'm so used to using my finger. And I'll do it whenever there's a button you can't find. Then I'm going to do text. And it's saying type something. So I am going to go to the Google Doc that has all of our adjectives. I have one that's slightly different. And I'm going to choose the adjectives that I've chosen. I'm going to choose the ones I choose. That makes sense.
That's good.
I'm going to copy it. I know, right? It made no sense. And then I'm going to paste it in here and hit delete that, because I don't know, it always puts an extra line in. And then I'm going to hit
doesn't it? I don't know why it does.
It does. I know. And I don't like that font at all. So what I'm going to do is exactly the same as what Dom did. Dom did. And then I'm going to go to align. So that's how we make it left align. So I'm going to do left, just so that it all lines up nicely. And what else did you do? Oh, yes, I'm going to do font. That's why you haven't actually shown that, because I'm going to steal your font before you've picked it. I say Bebus, but you say Bebus. But I'm going to choose this font because
tomato.
I know, right? It makes no difference. Tomato, scallion, whatever. So what we're going to do is we've got a bit of a throwback to a previous one. I'm going to choose this because this font is really chunky, is really easy to read, and it sort of means that with really long words, I can have it quite large, which actually looks pretty good. Now, I will be honest, the iPad is a wee bit fiddly to move things.
Yeah, it is definitely.
The best thing to do is just to hold it for a while, and then that auto align thing turns off if you hold it. Because mine just wasn't. I'm trying to line up my letters on the split, so it kind of hides that split a bit of the colors. And then I'm going to go to color, change that to white. Actually, she's a gold winner. She won gold. I'm going to
that's a good idea.
I'll maybe do that for gold. Yeah.
Right. Nice. Let me get to where you are then.
Yeah, and then
so
you can't.
Let me grab that back. Okay, so Ruth's stealing all the good ideas. So I've got my text. I've got my text selected, and like she said, a really good one is Bebas. You just put Bebas in, and then Bebas new is one that you can use here. Now, I think I'll use that one. Actually, maybe if I go to Bebas again. Oh, I should spell it right. Bebas.
Chunkier one.
Yeah, the chunkier one. I think you're right. So you can click the little drop down here, and then maybe go to the bold. There you go. That's a bit better. Now, things that I would do here. Now, it's sort of counterintuitive in a way, but actually, if you reduce the opacity, I feel like it becomes more readable. But the only difference, the only problem there is that the background, the way I've done it, the contrast is so high that actually, some of this, although it does look quite good, it does make some of the text quite hard to read. So select my image. Now, if you find it difficult to select your image, you can open up your layer stack and choose the one that you need to work on. And then I can play around with, I'll put my filter back on, but I'll play around with the enhancements. Think the contrast I'll bring down. That's starting to make it a little bit more readable. Maybe bring the highlights down ever so slightly. And there you go. That's sort of making that text readable. And maybe I'll go and just change the opacity of it as well. There you go. That's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. Now, while Ruth is playing around with hers, I'm just going to show you something on the left-hand side. Now, you can actually play around with how that image looks as well. And because Ruth has made me feel guilty about using filters, what I'm going to do is probably use a filter. Maybe I'll go to contrast. You see, you can go through. I kind of want to make it really more powerful. So actually take filters off, go to enhancements, and this is where you can start having fun with some of the contrasts. Maybe bring the highlights up, shadows down, or maybe even shadows up. You just start playing around with these and see what they like, because I want it to be a really striking. Yeah, that warmth on the left-hand side.
That looks really good.
Me happy. Yeah, I'm happy about that. So that's where I'm at. Ruth, maybe you can take it home on yours.
Yeah, no worries. So just to confirm, I do like filters. It's just a filter, it never is exactly what I want. I have a very clear thing in my head, so I prefer to use sliders. I think filters are great for something really quick. I actually am struggling a wee bit with the color of this. I've knocked the opacity down a wee bit. I think it might be better like that. I think I've got the same problem, Dom, actually, of my image is a bit
the text readable.
Dark.
Yeah, I don't know. So, maybe you could even make the image darker even.
Oh, yeah, right where I was. Brightness. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what needed to happen. It's because of her lovely hair. That's why.
And then, maybe bring the highlights down. Maybe that'll make the whites come down a little bit more.
That's true. Also, if you're on the iPad, you don't have layers. Like Dom, you selected your layer stack. So you might just have to shift your text out of the way. I'm quite lucky in that my text isn't all the way over. So if I click on the right, I can select my image. But what was it you said? Sorry?
Maybe the highlights, bring those down.
Highlights, that was it. I was listening. I just forgot.
Yeah, maybe make the white hair just slightly darker. Yeah, I think that works.
I think that works really well. I might actually just go for a slightly. Ooh, I'm kind of tempted to use the wee dropper on our metal.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
That works really well.
Pretty happy with that. And then once we're done, do you want me to show how to save?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. So I'm very happy with my image now. I'm just bragging that I'm happy. The only thing I would say, I always rename my projects. On the iPad, you do have to go back. So you have to hit this wee arrow at the top and click on the image. And then you can rename your project. There's no way to rename it in the actual project. Whoops. So I'm just going to do Mary Peters. And then I'm going to go into edit. So that's how I go back into the editor. And I'm just going to, you can either, I get confused sometimes over these two arrows because they mostly do the same thing. They both kind of save it. But I'm going to do the download button, which is the arrow going down. I think the arrow going out is share, which is where you can share it like Google Classroom. Actually, I might do that one. I'll do the arrow going out. So you've got different options here. I'm going to hit save image and lots of stuff is going to come up on my screen, but I'm going to tap on save image and then I'm going to go to save to library. Oh, it auto saves the camera roll. That's the difference. So that saved my camera roll, which means if I go to my photos, there is my image ready to be printed and
very nice indeed.
Yeah.
Let me show people how to do. Yeah. Let me show people how to do that if you're on a Chromebook, laptop, desktop. So now that I've got my image and I'm happy with it, my text is good, you can read it. You've got black and white on one side, you've got an image, which I've brought the enhancements up on the left-hand side. Then you can press download and it will give the same file name that is in your project name. There it is, Serena-1. It's given it there, which is good. And then you can press I know. And then you can press share, publish, and then here you can share it to Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, or you can create a link. So if you just click that link button, this has a little progress bar, which the iPad doesn't have. Oops, something's gone wrong. So we'll just refresh the page. There we go. And then magically, when I reopen it, it's going to do everything that I want it to do because I'm going to press share, publish, create a link. Come on, you can do it. Don't let me down. Not live. Don't let me down live. And then it should go, 85, 90. This is where it dropped out before. Oh, it's going to do it. Wait, 3, 2, 1.
He knew a loading bar. Wow.
There it is.
Almost impressive. Almost impressive. Yep.
And then I'll just stick it into a browser. And there you go. You see there's no white line down the middle. So that's cool. So I'm really happy with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you, if I go here and put a little music on. And put the Feeding the Ducks, which is Ruth's favorite track.
I actually really like it. Yeah.
It is good, isn't it? And what's going to happen now is Ruth's going to do mine and I'm going to do hers.
Sure. Cool. I can do that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the text for Larry Mary Peters.
Larry Mary Peters. Yep.
No, we don't want it. Not Larry Mary, Lady Mary.
Oh, definitely.
And also, I'm going to go here and if I refresh this page, where is she? Mary Peters. She's there. So I'll grab that one. I can open it up, download it. I'm going to make mine even better than Ruth's.
Yeah, I think you can.
So here we go. Let's go back here. So again, this is going to recap. You got about 5 or 6 minutes here to have a go at your own. So I'm going to press. So I'm just going to go through the steps that you would normally go through, but you've got 5 or 6 minutes to do your own. And you can see the scrolly thing at the bottom. This is where you can share your work. So here we go. Do a landscape. The reason why we choose landscape is that it means it's quite easy to have one image next to each other. Actually, what am I doing here? I don't want to start like that at all. I want to go down to collage.
If you have if you can only find like the person you picked, if you can only find a portrait, an upright photograph, you could pick portrait then.
Yeah, that's true.
We just had landscape images.
They do make this one easier for sure. Right, so just put that image in twice. Click next. Landscape. Click next. I'm going to put Lady Mary. So always have your file name. That makes a difference.
For sure.
And then, did you have to bring down the border on yours, or was yours just?
I didn't have to. No, on the iPad it doesn't put in a border automatically. I think that's because mine wasn't technically a collage. Remember?
Right, maybe. Yeah. So select layout, bring that border right down, and then this is where you drag. Oh, look at that! Nailed it.
Give me this long just to download the image.
Yeah. There we go. That's about perfect, I think. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. Now, what I think I might do here is immediately make this grayscale. There we go. Put my text in. So here is just where you paste in these adjectives here. So these are the ones that Ruth had. And then I'll go back here. Perfect. Okay, now let's start off straight away and change it to Bebas. Let's go to bold. Nice. It's a bit thinner, so it's good for lists of text. I'm going to align it to the left.
Yup.
And then down. So one of the things you can do, if you've got text which doesn't quite go from one side to the other, and these words do, but you can change the letter spacing. I mean, you can do it across the whole thing actually, but I don't need to on this because Ruth has chosen many big words which she's obviously taken from her library of leather-bound books.
I did use a thesaurus, I will be honest.
And then if I can't really select my image at the back, well, I can, there's a little space down the side, so I'll select that image. And here's where I can do enhancements to make sure that things like, a hair which is quite light, bring that down. There we go. Bring the contrast up. There we go, that's pretty cool. And then also if I select the text and bring down the opacity, that's pretty cool, like that. Okay, then on the left hand side, so you've got a few minutes, do share your work down here. You can see the link down there, share your work. You can do that anonymously. And then on the left hand side, if I select that image, what am I going to do here? Well, I could have a look at filters. Don't want to duotone it. I might go to contrast. To be honest, I want it to be much more striking than that. So I think I'll go to enhancements, bring up that contrast. Maybe bring the highlights down. That's pretty good. Saturation. Saturation's always a good one. Look at that. Look how cheerful she looks with the medal now. There we go. That'll do. Yeah, that's good. Ruth, what have you got for us? But you're on the spot right now.
Just designing the new Nike ad.
Yeah, nice. Look at that.
I was just playing around with the shadow. I'm not really a big drop shadow fan, but sometimes it can be used quite to make things a little bit easier, especially with white. So I was just adding a drop shadow, and I chose the color of the drop shadow to be that red. I thought that would be cute.
Very nice.
Maybe a bit.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad actually.
Yeah.
Getting there. Yeah, actually, the color's nicer. So that's it. While you've been, talking and being interesting, I've just been sitting, working.
Good stuff.
Trying to, one up you. That's it.
Let me show people how you share it as well.
Oh yes, I forgot to show how to do a link on the iPad. I'll do it.
You can go to share, publish, and then you can press link. And then once that's created, I'm going to get my link, and you can see the link on the screen to share your work. Share Express. Okay, cool. And there's a little form here. And you can put your name in if you want to, but you don't have to. It's not a required field. I'll just put Dom in, your school, Davidson PS. And then there's my link. And I just click submit. And away it goes. Thanks for completing the form. I'll be in touch. I didn't realize that's what it said. I'll be in touch.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Right. Ruth, show them how to share. And then we'll move on.
To the text. So on the iPad, you hit down just to get it straight into your camera roll. Or if I hit up, the up arrow, on the top, I just scroll across and I do copy link. There is a progress bar.
It has got the progress bar, yeah. It has got the progress bar.
I didn't know that. The only thing I did notice is I don't think it came up with if it's private or not. Anyway, and then you would just upload it the same way with the link. I'm only saying that because I don't have the link on my computer on my iPad.
No, that's fine. Don't worry.
But yeah, you would do it the
right.
same way.
Okay. So if you need to pause at any time, you're more than welcome to. If you need a little bit more time, that's absolutely fine. No time pressure here. But let me take that music off. And we are going to move on. Let me grab the screen back. 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So challenge 1, done. Now we're moving on to challenge 2. So if you scroll down here, scroll. Challenge 2 is a web page. Web page full of info, images, links, buttons, and embedded videos. So you've got some example text there. So if you need the short link, you can see it there. It's bit.ly/example IWD, International Women's Day. So bit.ly/example IWD. If you want to type that in because you haven't got access to this page, that's absolutely fine. Or you can use the QR code, use your iPad, as Ruth showed us. You hold an imaginary thing between your hands, use the camera app.
Drive.
Hover it over there and drive your way over to our example text, which is this one. So I've chosen Betty Campbell because she is a very inspirational Welsh lady, and we're going to use her. So let me just get rid of some of these things that I don't need. Okay. Now, if you want to use this one, then that's great. You don't have to. You can use any one you like, or you can just use placeholder text. That's absolutely fine as well. This is not about, this is not about creating the greatest web page that ever was. This is about learning how to use the tools in order to build a page. Okay. But if you go back to our bit.ly IWB images, open that up. What you'll see here is there is a Betty Campbell folder. Okay. In fact, yeah. And then there's all sorts of folders of the Betty Campbell statue, which is in Cardiff. So we're going to use some of those, but we'll decide which ones we're going to use along the way. So maybe I'll actually just download a few now so that I've got them ready. So this one here, that's a profile one. That's good. So I'll download that. Great. That's downloaded to my machine. Maybe one for the head. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I just said that was a cool statue. Sorry, that was all.
Yeah,
I totally interrupted.
It is. She's a very cool lady. This one, they're all kind of profile, aren't they? Let me just cycle through them. Let's have a look. That's the first one. That's a good one as well, because that's an example of something that she said, which is cool. And then maybe I'll use. I think I already got this one, didn't I? Which one is this? BC8. Yeah, I think I've already got that one. We'll use those two. That's fine. So first thing I'll do is go to Betty Campbell and just grab that as my title. And then I'll go to home on my screen there. I'm going to press the plus and I'm going to go down to web page. Okay. So very simple to do this. Add a title in. I'll put Betty Campbell in. And then I'll put what can I put? An inspirational woman. Or you can put your name. That's fine. Betty Campbell by Dom Trainer, something like that. Now, this header that you can see here, there's different ways you can format it. You can click it and you can choose photo, short, cover, split, layout. You can use any, doesn't really matter. But I'm a fan of the photo one. So there, I'm going to click photo. And what you can do here is, you can search the stock library. That's absolutely fine. Like good stock images might be something like Superwoman. Okay, because this could be all about inspirational women. So you could choose a photo like that, for example. But I actually have a picture of Betty Campbell, as you saw before. So I'm going to click it and then just press replace. Upload my. It is good one, isn't it? And then I'll use that BC8 one. Okay, there we go. Now, obviously, it's chopped off a head. That's not what we want. So what can I do here, Ruth?
You can change the focus point. Is that the name of
it? Yeah, focal point. Yes.
Focal point. Close.
So what you would do here is you just click the image, and then you got focal point as one of your options, and then drag it to the top there. There we go. And now she's front and center. And there we go. And then if you think, oh, the text, you can move over to the top left there, which is quite cool. Quite like that. Now I'm going to, well, actually, no, what I'm going to do is going to pass it over to Ruth, and she is going to show you how to get started using a different app. Wakey, Ruth, come on.
I'm awake. So I'm just laughing because I'm going to have to.
So woke.
So I would say for everybody who's watching to use the Betty Campbell one, because Dom has formatted it very nice. I have not picked a Northern Irish woman. I've picked someone who actually really influences me. So I've picked a woman called Hildur Gottnadottir, which is very hard to say, and I had to
say that again.
Hildur Gottnadottir. So she's Icelandic. Gottnadottir. She is Icelandic and is a composer. So she's a film composer, and they're usually film composers. I love film soundtracks. That's like my favorite thing. And film composers are usually men, but she's one of the very few women who is actually very outspoken about getting more women into music and getting it. So she won an Oscar for her she did the music for the movie Joker, which obviously none of you have seen because it's too old for you. But but yes, so it's a great movie and she's really great. So I'm going to do it on her, but you guys could do it on Betty Campbell because she's probably more suitable. But yes, so if I'm going to do page, unfortunately we can't use Adobe Express, the app. We do have to use a different app, which is called Spark Page, which I think annoys Dom that it doesn't match up, but they're working on it. It's totally fine. So Spark Page just looks different. So if I tap on that, again, you would log in with your C2Can info. It might auto log in, but I'm pretty sure you have to log in again. And then it looks exactly the same. So down at the bottom, we've got inspiration. This is where you can choose different sort of templates or different ways to get started. And then you can see my pages here. I'm going to hit the plus because I want to create a new page. And then it starts to look exactly the same as what Dom had. The only difference being we just have a little mini menu at the top. That's really all that it is.
Mini menu.
Mini menu. So I'm going to tap on photo for my background. And my photographs are going to be on my iPad as well because I've downloaded one specifically. Oh my goodness, that's me with my dog. That's great. And then I'm going to pick a picture here of her in her studio because she's awesome. And I hope I have pasted her name. No, I did not.
No. You need to paste that name. You don't want to be trying to do that one from scratch.
Yeah, I know. Next time I might pick someone with Ruth Jones or something like that. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to paste in her name. I just think that's so cool looking. And then I'm going to do
proper characters in as well.
Oh, it's the coolest. That's why you paste Icelandic composer and cellist.
Very nice.
So
very cool.
And I don't know, Dom can probably help me here. I don't know if I can actually drag my text and move it about.
You probably can tap away from the tap on the image. There you go. Make sure that dialog box isn't open, and now go and do it.
I have to tap and hold. I wasn't being patient. That's what it is. So if you want to use it, you tap
story
and hold.
of your life.
I know, man. Tap and hold until it goes like see-through, like it's sort of transparent, and then you can move it around. So I actually quite under. Yeah, I'm going to put it up there.
Yeah,
so
looks great.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm in the exact same position as where Dom is, and I'll pass it back to you then. You can show the next wee bit.
Cool. Right. Don't forget that the technical term is see-through-e.
That's what I actually call it. Yeah, see-through. Yeah.
Right. You see down here, it says scroll, start writing your story. So let's do that. And then it opens up with these different options here. So first thing we're going to do is just select text. Okay. And I've got this bit of text, which I've highlighted here. And this is just like a little, very, very short introduction. So if I paste it in here now, because it's quite small, I want to change it to something that's big and bold. It's going to take up a lot of space. There we go. So header 1. All you have to do is select the text and then choose. I'll take it off. I can put it back on. There we go. It makes it nice and big. And that's a great way to start. Then I'm going to scroll. Well, I'm not going to scroll. I always say that I'm going to scroll. There it is. If you go up and then back out, then it does come up again. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a split layout. Okay. So for my first section, it's Betty Campbell's early life. Okay. Now, do you know what? I'm just going to get all of this information here, all of it. And then on the right-hand side, press the plus and then just pop it in as text. Oh, press the plus, select text. There we go. And then paste it all in. Right. Now, this is where we're going to start working on this. So the first thing is I'm going to change every single kind of subheading to the quote function. I think that makes it look really nice. You can do things like select parts of the text, make it bold. So that was her date of birth, for example. And then here where it's got find out more, I've got a link. Okay, now I want to send people to this link. Now you can put it in text like that, but to be honest, it looks rubbish. So let's cut that. And then you've still got find out more. So I can use that in a second. I'm going to press the plus. My daughter's just back from nursery. Huh? And I need to put something outside, just so because she's just been sent home from nursery because she's not very well. So let me grab this and put it outside so that she can be entertained in peace. There we go. So I'm going to press the plus there, and I'm going to go to button, and I'm going to put my link in here. That's the link. And then for my button text, I just put find out more. There we go. Now, what am I going to do in terms of alignment here, Ruth Davidson?
You are probably going to do center, left. No, I don't know.
That's the right answer. No, do not deviate. That's the right answer, Ruth. And if anybody doesn't center their button, I'm going to end this live stream immediately. Right. And then just get rid of find out more. Right.
The stress you put me under. I like center.
Nothing like a bit of stress to get top performance. And then on the left-hand side, where it says add your image, I'll click it. And now here, I could use a photo that I might have downloaded, but actually, she was born in Cardiff. So let's go to Cardiff. And there's a brilliant sunrise shot. It could be sunrise, it could be sunset. I'm going to go with sunrise. And there we go. She was born in Cardiff. Now, obviously, Cardiff didn't look like this in 1934. But hey, let's use what we can. And then I'll scroll again. And I'm going to do another split layout before I pass it back to Ruth. Betty Campbell's career. And again, I'm going to copy all of that text. Go back here. Paste it all in. And again, right. What are we going to do? The subheading. Ruth.
We're going to quote it.
Quote it. Yeah, you can use those little quotes there. There we go. Keep consistent style. That's what we want. And then we've got this link down here about how she helped to create Black History Month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that get rid of those little brackets there, and then I can highlight Black History Month, and then I can put it in as a link. There we go. Much cleaner. Looks really nice.
Yeah.
I like that. And what can I do here? Well, from the right-hand side, maybe I'll search for something like primary school, because she was a head teacher. So let's go on the right-hand side and go for something like primary school, see what we get. You might just give us different schools and stuff like that. I mean, what I'm kind of looking for is a building. And we're going to, well, actually, do you know what? Because she obviously taught a long time ago, before color was invented, then maybe I'll do a black and white image.
Ooh, I like it.
And that kind of gives us that nostalgic, because before televisions were invented, the world had no color in it. So there we go. So there we go. And that's how you create split layouts. And that's where I'm going to pass it over to Ruth Davidson to weave her magic.
Yeah, I'm just copying some text, so that's not super fascinating. So yeah, I've pretty much been following the same thing. I don't have as much information.
Ooh, you've done something nice there.
Yeah.
You've been playing with your theme, haven't you, Davidson?
I think on the iPad it auto does this theme. I have not necessarily changed it, but yes. So instead of doing the quote, only because my quote doesn't look great. It's okay. It's not the look I'm going for. Also because I don't have as much text, so I want a really big title. Classic, classic. So I actually used header 1. Header 2 looked like that, which was okay, but I really like header 1. It kind of looks quite Icelandic in itself.
Yeah, looks very good.
And then I found for this photograph, actually, I forgot. This is Iceland. Iceland is awesome. I went there and it was the best. It was very cold. I will say that. A fun fact about Iceland people, if you did not know, they don't actually have surnames. So her surname is her dad is Gudna. That's his name. And her name is actually, if I go up, Hildur and Gudna's daughter. That's what that means, which means her brother has a different surname because it's Gudna and then son.
Son. Wow.
Like
crazy.
David.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I know. I just love Iceland so much. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So the good thing about this app is that it's pretty much exactly the same as the browser version. Yep, I just hit that wee plus and then I added in some text and things. I was just about to add in an image.
What are you going to do for your composer section? What are you going to go for?
I know, I'm going to put in, actually, do you know what I might do? I might put in a photo here on the left because, no, not find free images, Ruth. I find some of the sort of things that she, honestly, the work that she's done. So I'm just going to maybe put a couple of those wee images in there.
Yeah, very cool.
And then on the right, I'm just going to pop in a picture of her at her studio.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Then, you go ahead. I'm just going to probably add a photograph in, full screen photograph for my next bit of her with her Oscar.
Oh yeah, very cool. Right then, let me. If you do want to play around with themes and stuff like that, you can click themes up here, and you can choose a different style of theme. Like vintage might be a good one for this. And it will change things like how the text appears, effects that they put on photos, how things like the quotes appear, that one there, and then you can, and it also gives a little sort of filter on the photos, which Ruth doesn't like, but I think it's pretty good.
I like
and then the button looks different as well, so I'll keep that for now. Excuse me. And then for my last two sections, I'm going to go to a glide show. Now, for your glide show, you need to work out which photos you want. Okay, so I'm going to do it for this section 3 and sections 4. Right, now awards for Betty Campbell. Right, she got an MBE. So I'm going to search for medal, and then Betty Campbell statue. Well, we have a picture of Betty Campbell statue. So what I'm going to do is go here, and my first one is I'll search for medal. Okay. There we go. And I'll look for something which kind of maybe that. I thought that was a medal. It's a flower. I'm looking for something. You know what? That one.
Yeah. I mean, the one above it's pretty cool. Or that red.
This one.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm looking for something that doesn't kind of look like it's a sporting medal, I suppose.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Could you put in like another word with medal, maybe?
I'm trying to think.
Award, maybe?
Award. That's a good idea. Award. Yeah, this is good. I think something like. I think there was one at the top that I quite liked. Yeah, I'll go for that one. This one looks good.
Yeah.
And then I'll upload a photo of one of the ones that I downloaded before, and I think it'll be that one. There we go. I like that. So I'm going to click save. And now what you'll see is you've got a section here. Oh, and it glides through. And you know what? That second image isn't working because it's too big. So what I think I'll do is I'll go back to Betty Campbell here and maybe choose. Yeah, that one looks good. That's BC4. And then instead of this, I'll click there, edit the photos. And then with this one, see we've got the two arrows, replace it, upload a photo, BC4. Okay, nice. And now click save just to check. Yeah, that's good. Because you can see the children's faces, which is great. And you can also play with the focal point. So maybe I'll make it. Actually, no, the little girl down the bottom there, that makes that one look good. So I'm happy with that. So now I've got these text boxes that I can work with. So let me go to my text awards for Betty Campbell. Let's take that section. Let's put it in here. Change this one to the quote function. And then maybe I'll highlight something, a Lifetime Achievement Award from Unison Company. And I'll make that bold. There we go. And then scroll on to my last section. And here, maybe what I'll do is, do you know what? Maybe I'll keep the boxes both on the left-hand side because you can change the position of them. Left, right, center. I'll keep it on the left, I think. And the reason for that is because I've got Betty Campbell's statue here. And I've got a YouTube link. Now, if you search Betty Campbell in YouTube, there's all sorts of brilliant videos about Betty Campbell there. And you can choose whatever one you like. But I'm going to go to the plus, go to text, paste that all in, format this into the quote again because you want to keep it consistent. And then with this YouTube link, I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to press the plus, go to video, and paste it in there. And you see, this is the Betty Campbell monument unveiling or statue unveiling, which is great. So let me scroll back up to the top, show you what I've got here, and then Ruth will show you how she's done hers. So if I go to the top and press present, then I've got my first section there, like it. Second section, big, bold introduction as to who my person is. There we go. We've got a nice section there. Got Cardiff image over there. Got a find out more button, which will open up in a new page. Oh, what have I done there? The primary school's not in. Let me go back. That one's not worked. Well, let me tell you what. If you ever have a problem,
refresh.
Just refresh that page.
That's my whole life.
Then
refresh.
Yeah, let me see whether that one comes in now. Press present. Section 2. Section 3. Now he's still not coming in. There's a glitch. There's a glitch in the matrix. But I have got my link here. Black History Month is linked. And then awards. I've got my little section in bold here for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And then last one, I've got that. It's got the statue there. So with the unveiling of the statue, and we can click that YouTube video, and that comes up, and you can play that immediately without leaving the page. Ruth Davidson, show us what you've got.
So again, I don't have as much. So I've put in my centered button. just for you.
Nice,
To
well
make
done.
your web page. We've got the composer bit, where I've put in a video of her accepting her award with her speech. I put in a couple of the images of her well-known works. She does have loads more. I just didn't didn't have time to put more in. And then this is the main thing. This is why I really like her. So in her Oscar speech, this is what she said. She said, "To the girls, to the women, to the mothers, to the daughters who hear the music bubbling within, please speak up. We need to hear your voices." So if anyone is like very musical, it's just saying that just because you are a woman or female, it doesn't mean that your voice needs to be silenced, and it needs to be heard, which I really love. Which is why I put myself through having to say her name over and over again. So I personally I have not put in a glide show, but I might just put a glide show in of images of Iceland, just because
you can do that.
Yeah, just as like a little scrolling thing, more so than
oh, nice.
I know, it's beautiful. Oh, so
cool.
yeah, that's all I've been doing. And then for me to see my webpage in full, I just hit the little play button in the top right. Hold on, I will get my mouse. Woo! There it is, up here. And then hopefully all my images worked. And it means I can scroll through and look at it. I can click on the links. I can go to the video and it'll play. I won't play it, but yeah, so it kind of shows you more info, which is really nice.
Yeah, perfect. And then if you wanted to swap out your theme, what would you do?
Oh, yeah. So I would go to close at the top. If I want to change my theme, I would go to the little, not the cog, Ruth. I always go to the cog. It's the little magic wand, sort of. It is a magic wand, right?
Yeah.
And in here I can go, ooh, I might go dark just because I like
nice. That's a good one. Makes the photos really stand out.
Iceland is a very dark country. In that, it doesn't give us light. Or I could go in and I could change it to a different theme. You'll notice whenever I change the theme, it changes all the fonts, all the colors are all automatically in there. You can't actually edit those. So sometimes it's worth picking your theme after you've created everything. I kind of like that because you can see what buttons look like and what the video player looks like and stuff, rather than picking first. Ooh, that's quite nice.
Very cool. Okay, let me just grab this and just let me show you. Someone created a really cool graphic and I thought this one was great. You don't have to play masculine to be a strong woman. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Was that one great? Someone following along?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's really good.
Isn't it cool?
I like the idea.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it's a good idea doing a cool graphic.
Very good colors as well. I like that. So thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
let's, just before we give you your own time, let's show you how to share. You press share, press publish and share link. You go down to create link, and then it's going to do all sorts of funky things in the background. And then it will give you a link which you can share via Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, whatever you want. So you can copy it and then you can put it into your very own browser. So you've got your very own web page. Ruth, just give them a quick look at how you do that on the iPad, please.
Sure, no problem. So once you've finalized your theme, the little box with the arrow jumping out always means share. So I'm going to tap on that. And then in here, I think it's about the same as what you had. I'm going to share the share a link. That's just going to copy it straight to my what's called your clipboard. Yeah, that's pretty old school. And then get noticed. I'm going to turn that off. That just means that it's not going to be public. It'll only be seen by people I want to see it. So I'm going to create an unlisted link and it'll do the exact same thing as what Dom did. And then I can paste it wherever I want, or we want you guys to paste it so that we can see your work. That's the thing, right?
Exactly that. Right. Okay, so what we'll do is, let me just grab it back. Tom's camera. There we go. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll give you 5 minutes or so. Stick some music on there. Is again. And then what I will do is I'm going to go to our page here. Don't forget that you can access this by going to, this is where you can go, bit.ly, IWB images, International Women's Day images. IWB? Why does it say IWB? It should say IWD, but it doesn't. It says IWB, but actually that is the right link. Click that. And then you come through to here, and I'm going to build a Hilda page. I'm not going to dare say that second name. Using, say again.
Gotna.tier or Goodna.tier.
Gotna.tier.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Hilder's good.
Hilda's good. Okay, so I'm going to open up that one. Okay. Gotna.tier.
That's pretty spot on.
Right. I feel like it's easier with the Northern Ireland twang.
It is, to be fair. Most things you can get away with. Except mirror. Mirror sounds awful. The one word. Mirror.
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 So press the plus. Go down to web page. So you can mute us now if you want, if you're doing your own work.
Probably wise. Where is this?
Okay. Right, we've got lots of images here. So this is a good one to start with. I'm going to select it and get to download. There we go. Perfect. And then I go for photo and I can upload that photo. This is bringing up a dialog box where I can select that image I've just downloaded. And there it is. So maybe I'll grab this text and put it over here.
Oh, that lines up with the wall nicely. Look at that.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the Baldwin is quite a good one, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
So let's work out what Hilda's all about.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Right. Okay. So what I might do here is, again, go for text. Just put that in quite small. Change it to header 2, I think. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now, there's all sorts of crazy characters I've never seen in there.
I know, it's a crazy alphabet. Like crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's very. I like that.
I think maybe I'll go for a glide show for this whole thing. So the first one is about the cello. So let's search for cello in here.
Cello.
Let's see what we got. Nice.
Cello, yeah.
That'll be our first one. And then for this one, talking about the Joker or the film festivals. So maybe I'll go for.
Did you conductor? Is it like conductor? Do you know, like a?
That would be a good one. Yeah. Yeah, could definitely work. Film festival. Hey, this is
pretty cool. It's a cool picture there. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna use that one and put the text box right in the middle of that.
Like it.
And then in her acceptance speech, this is where I'm gonna go in here.
Get her.
And you've got to do this one. You've got to do this one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Download that, and then upload that photo. I'm gonna click upload, and then it comes up here. You can't see, but I actually selected that on my machine, and there she is. She's in there. So click save. Okay, so I've got our 3 boxes here: cello, film festivals, Oscar acceptance. Okay, so this one here. So I'm going to paste in my text, and then maybe I'll put some text, and maybe I'll do like early life kind of thing. So I might change my theme because I'm not particularly impressed with how it does the quote function here. So if I go to themes, Teresa, no. Chronicle, nah. Luca, nah. Wesley, nah. None of these are really doing it. That's a good one. I like the chic one because she's pretty chic.
And you get the characters back in her name as well. The other one,
yeah.
capitalized it.
Strip it out. Right. And then it also puts this kind of grey background, which is kind of nice and designy.
Nice.
So we've got early life.
Designy.
It's like, what was your one?
See-through.
Yeah, there you go. Designy and see-through. You see, you're getting all the best stuff here.
It's why on anything it works.
Okay, so the next one is all about her films. Okay. So I've got that text here. Like I said, I'm going to put that into the center.
Nice.
Text. Okay, and then maybe I'll put some text in work life, something like that. There we go. Right, what are we talking about here? So, okay, Golden Globe. Maybe what I'll do here is I'll get her name.
It's best to copy.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll find a little. Joker wins best original score. Oh, here we go. Right,
I have that using the link. I have that in the pages if you want.
Oh, now you do, of course.
I did. I threw them.
Oh, there you go. So I'll copy that. And then I'll go back here, scroll down, not that bit, put it in here. So this is the video of her winning. And then this last section is quite poignant, isn't it?
Yep.
So I'll grab this bit. And then I'll put it in as text. And then maybe here a bit. I'll get accept speech.
Nice.
Put it in. Get some capitals in there so that the teachers amongst us don't go crazy.
Teachers don't shout at you. Yep.
Yeah. And then I'm going to grab this section here, get out of it, go to a new section, put in my text. And there we go. Oh, there we go. That's nice. I'm happy with that. So let me scroll up to the top. Okay, press present. Let's check everything's okay. And our resident Icelandophobe, not Icelandophobe. No, Icelandophile.
You're afraid? Yeah, the other one. File. Yep.
Icelandophile. There we go. That's the first one.
Cool.
Second one. Nice. I like that picture of the cello. It's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
Then you got a video. And then that last bit. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So to share, press share. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, and with the same information, what I love is in Page, you can create something that looks totally different, even though you have all the same, the same text and pretty much the same photos. That's what I really love about this. Exactly
that. So press share at the top, publish and share link, and then create a link. So with this one, the way Ruth had you can share off the public. This is already turned off here, but if you do have the little toggle, you can turn that off here as well. And again, there you go. And if you want to share your work, you can go to bit.ly/share express, and then come on, you can do it. And then I'll go DT, my school, Hilda PS, primary school, and there's my page, and then I can click submit. Yeah, and I'll be in touch, of course.
Be in touch.
Cool. Let me just take this off for a second. And just before we finish here, what do we need to tell our people, Ruth?
Women are great.
Women are great. Well, of course they're great, because we just showed many different ways in which you can show how great they are. But what about stuff we all get?
Oh yeah, so you have to get your teachers to sign up so you can get swag because you guys are awesome and you'll get some free stuff, which is
So if you
great.
complete both of those challenges, we're going to send a whole truckload of swag
Ooh.
over to Ruth's house, and then
Yep.
she is going to drive around to your school and drop it off in person, and
That's true.
also tap dance.
That's true. While playing some film soundtrack music.
Yeah, on a
Sure.
xylophone.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah. I do have a xylophone actually in the house.
It doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Well, thank you very much, Ruth. You were an
Thank
absolute
you.
dream, and thank you for being an international woman on International Women's Day, and bring in people that we just never had heard before. That's amazing. I thought that example that you gave was just brilliant. So well done, you.
No, thanks. Thank you as well.
No
It's
worries.
thank you guys for all watching and working along. Your work looks good.
Exactly that. So we will send out swag. I will send out the link for your teachers to do it once you've completed your 2 challenges. And also, how do you get VIP swag, Ruth? Come on. You have to teach other people your Express skills to get VIP swag.
There you go. That's
Ruth.
it. Pass along the knowledge. That's what it is. Pass along.
And
the
you
knowledge.
get the extra
I knew
special
that.
swag.
I knew that.
You did know that deep down. You just
I
didn't
skipped
remember
lunch,
it.
so my head's not
It's
really.
There you go. You're too busy thinking about international women all the time.
I am very much so.
Ruth, give us a parting thought for the day.
Be true to yourselves, be creative, and just keep trying to be creative. Put your work into the world. I love it.
Exactly. And we need more women to do that. That would make the world a much better place. Thank you very much, Ruth, and take it easy, everyone. See you soon.